Hey y'all, I got a video for you. I made a project. I made a thing. I had a project. I thought of a project I wanted to make. And I remembered where all the fabric was. It's bits and pieces of fabric left over, and I bitsed and pieced it together, and I wanted to share it with you because that's what I like to do. And some of y'all like to see those things, and some of you it just bores, and I'm sorry. And some of you come here hoping that you'll hear some news. No, you don't. I'm sorry. I cracked myself up. You just come here to have some coffee and see what Betty's up to now. So, here it is. This is what I'm up to now.
The road ahead, it twists and turns in the sun.
Okay, so these are all the scrap pieces that I have kept from the different projects I've made. I've covered a chair, I've made curtains, I've made more curtains, I've made pillows, and I had a lot of small pieces, and I wanted to cover it for my table. So, I hope this won't be horribly boring for you to watch me sew this together.
And I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground.
So, I'm sewing. I'm sewing on my Singer Heavy Duty that's missing one of the little legs, so it rocks a little bit, but I adjust. Not an issue. And I thought I'd show you this because I know a lot of times people don't make things because they're like, well, you got to do this and you got to do that. You know what you got to do? You ain't got to do nothing except for exactly what you want to do. You don't have to finish the edges. You don't have to zigzag the seams. You can just sew it. And I did pin it all together, and then I wound up taking it. I think I sewed one seam. Then I took all the pins out and sewed the rest.
And I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground.
I figured out the design, and the reason I did it was I wanted something that was that was a little more flat on the table. Now, since I've done this, I did take it out and to my truck. I've got extra battery and inverter out there, so I ironed all the seams. I pressed all the seams, but I did it once it was done. And I could have just left it alone. And technically I'm not really finished. I got a little hand stitching I want to do on it, but I'm waiting.
Keep on pushing through. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground. You love you. Yeah, I get up, and I may fall right back down, but your love lifts me back to solid ground.
Oh, look at me. Look at there, y'all. This is my version of making a quilt. I'm using the sewing machine here as a weight. And look at that. See? There are people that would have used a measuring tape and math. I'm not some people. Watch this trick I do. You'll like this.
slip away. Used to hear it in your heart, feel it in your soul. Spirit soaring high, now it's sunk down low. You still have a choice.
Careful, careful. Watch your fingers, girl. Okay, and here comes the trick. See that wire sitting out there? Lord have mercy, we don't want to cut that. Get that out of there. Yeah, turn it off first. Okay. Now, whoop. There we go. Careful. And measure all the edges again right up to the table. This is what you call eyeballing a project.
And if you see with me,
I bet y'all wondering how it's going to turn out. Look at her.
happy will be. Lift up your voice.
This actually took me a couple hours yesterday afternoon, all total. And there was a whole lot of, I videoed everything, but good grief. I'd lay it down, no, that's not right. And I'm like, why am I making such an issue? And then I just did it the easy way. Just sew some pieces together till it's big enough to fit the table, and then cut a circle. And then I had the long pieces, and this is where I stitched them on. This goes all the way around the circumference. And I did pin this, most of it.
There is still a song. Open up your heart. You've been quiet for too long. Make a joyful noise again. Let the music back in and sing. Come on, sing with me. Feel the rhythm of your beating heart. Let the sound of love set you free. Come on, sing with me. Hear the beauty, let me lift you up. Be healed by.
A long time ago, I used to have people come to my house and I'd sew for them. They'd sit around the table. That's kind of what it feels like. Oh man. People would ask me questions. What was I making? What was I going to make next? I was known for taking what I had and making what I needed.
The sweetest man.
Kind of still am. It's what I do. I love y'all.